Alright, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Vergil Ortiz calls out Tszyu. I love it. Look, these two guys, you've got to take your hat off to fighters like this, because all they want to do generally in their heart is fight the best and prove to everybody and prove to themselves that they are the best. They want to do that, and that energy is the best for the sport. It really is. And Vergil Ortiz comes into 154, wins a fight against somebody he should be beating, and that was honestly, you could argue that's really poor matchmaking, just because he probably needs rounds really after being off for so long. And I'll talk about how the fight will go with him and Tszyu in a bit. But look, he's straight away calling out Tszyu. I absolutely love that. And you know, Tszyu's the exact same, and they exchanged words on Twitter, and it was all like a gentlemanly fair play, respect, honor. And that was the same when Brian Mendoza and Tszyu were you know, talking to get it on. This is how boxing should be done. I know that everybody's different, and you have divas and you have promoters and stuff like that, but when you have two guys who respect each other, respect the sport, and respect themselves, you get a fight done quickly. I don't know if that's going to be next for Vergil Ortiz, but he's put his name in the hat, and just like that, he's won fight in the 154 division, and he's already trying to shake things up. Absolutely love it. I made a video about the 154 division, and I didn't really think Vergil Ortiz would be in the mix so quickly. I just thought it might take it, maybe, you know, take his time and have a couple of fights, and I didn't expect him to be calling out Tszyu and like wanting it straight away. Not that he didn't have it in him. I just thought he just needed rounds, he needed fights, he needed to get back into activity and just see where he was and see how his body was and how he could handle more than one round, you know what I mean? Because he's had some health issues, big time. But he looks strong. He said he's never felt stronger. And you know, a lot of people were even saying maybe like he was big enough to go to 160 straight away. That's crazy. skip 154 altogether and go to 160. He was a big welterweight, and he's a disciplined fighter, but he looks strong. And that fight, Tszyu, look, he's great. I love Tszyu. I love both of these guys. You know what I mean? They're so good for the sport, and this is why it makes it a great fight. It could be one of the best fights of the year if it happened towards the back end of this year. I think Vergil Ortiz could really use one more fight, because inactivity has been killing fighters out here. You know, it really has. And activity has been really helping. That's one of the primary things you can do to not guarantee, but basically put yourself in a position where you're going to feel really good. And activity, you saw it with Joseph Parker. We've seen it with AJ. You know, a lot of fighters with their activity. There's loads of fighters last year, they've been active, and they're not paying the price, the opposite. Being rewarded from it, because there's nothing quite like it. Sparring a lot, training, being healthy, and having a lot of activity, you're a dangerous fighter. And I'd love to see Ortiz get that, because Tszyu, if they were to fight next, I would heavily favour Tszyu because of the activity. But you know, Tszyu's just a really underrated fighter still, to be honest. I made a video about him, about his defense and how good his defense is. It is superb. But that fight would be a barn burner. That would be a crazy fight, because both guys love to come forward. They love to throw punches. They love to throw punches, spiteful punches. They're tough, you know. They don't like to take a backward step. Vergil Ortiz got put down by Mean Machine, and he just wanted to get back. That's the get back, you know. Tszyu, same thing. That just shows you the respect that they have on the Twitter. You know, they're like, yeah, let's go, champ. You know, they know where they recognize each other's spirit, and that would be a wild fight. I'd have to look at a bit more film from Ortiz before that one rounder, just to try to, you know, remind myself of what, because his jabs are so powerful. His jabs are power jabs. He's got a beautiful variation of punches. He can dig to the body beautifully. As I said, Tszyu's defense is second to none. It really is. It's very cute and it's very subtle, but it's superb. And just his ability to get better and better and better. He's been very active. And he's been dominating, really, you know, and he's just going to be a great fighter, really. I really do. I think he's just getting better and better and better, and he just wants to prove himself. And I think that Ortiz. I'd love to see both those guys have one more, promote it a little bit, and then by the end of the year they could get it on, because Ortiz is ready to go, and we know Tszyu's ready to go. He's always ready to go, you know. Just ask Jamel Charlo, who's gone quiet. But maybe he's moving up to 160. But Tszyu, Vergil Ortiz, what a fight. Tszyu's WBO belt in Australia. And that's another thing. Ortiz is like, yeah, we'll do it in Australia, no problem. Same with Brian Mendoza. When you have these fighters that have that understanding, and I know it can be a bit naive, you know, there is like a reason why fighters don't want to go abroad and they don't want to take this fight. Then they've got promoters, they've got the team. I get it, there is some sort of beautiful naiveness going on there, because he's speaking from the heart. He's like, I just want to go over there and fight. Yeah, if it happens to be over there, he's not worried about the judges or anything like that. He just wants to go and fight. And I respect that. I've got so much respect for both these guys. And I would love to see that fight, because it is a cracker. But I would favour Tszyu right now. If they both have another fight and Tszyu hasn't completely constantly improved like he has done this whole year, I'd still probably slightly favour Tszyu, depending on how Ortiz looked. If Ortiz comes in with a real tough fight and looks amazing, then, you know. But I think Tszyu for me would probably win on points, or maybe it might be hard to imagine that fight going 12. To be honest, they're just going to be in each other's faces, letting bombs go. Basically, I mean, they're out to hurt each other. Spiteful, respectful dudes. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this fight. It's a cracker for me. But that was it. I've got loads more videos coming up next week. I've had a little bit of a mini break, but I will be back. And I hope you guys enjoy the weekend. Peace and love. I'm out. Boxing on the Edge.